Topping earnings headlines this Thursday, First Solar soaring about to $159 million in the third quarter. That was beating Wall Street's expectations. This is, you can call it a darling of Jim Cramer's.
Yeah, we've been behind this one. Well, look, I got lucky in the sense that I was looking at all the different solar stocks and always felt this one had the best business model, not connected to, not hostage to silicon wafers or WFR.
For the oversupply out there?
Yeah, I mean, this is there's an oversupply of solar companies, most certainly, but they're all doing fairly well. They all have the umbrella of $100 oil. But what I think is most interesting about First Solar is that it really is at parity with other forms of making energy. It doesn't need a subsidy. This was a quarter, we addressed this issue in Wall Street Confidential. What analysts are always looking for is when do you have a quarter that is so great that it's actually where you thought it would be a year from now. The third quarter of First Solar looks like what a lot of models said it would do in 2008. So that pulls through the earnings, making it so that the multiple goes from being very expensive on 2008 to suddenly cheap. And that's why the stock could be up 40, 50. Growth stock buyers like to buy on what's known as the out years. They like to buy on what the company's going to earn 2010, 2011. This is why I've been recommending a Monsanto. It's why I've been recommending a Google, why I've been recommending an Apple. This is a company that we were liking at 30 times 2000 and let's say at 40 times 2010, and now it's 30 times 2010. When you get this kind of growth rate and it's only selling at 30 times, you can pay up several multiple points, which is explaining why First Solar is exploding today and probably won't come in very much. Rarely do I like to recommend stocks that are up 30 or 40. I've been recommending the stock since $50, and it was my premier rubble stock during the big sell-off that we had in August. And I would tell you that it's still cheap on a growth rate, obviously not cheap from where it was. And you could always argue, and anyone can argue that, any value guy can argue, and I've been in my own shop, I might have just said, listen, the time to own it was yesterday. A lot of people say to me, Jim, you like the stock, and now it's going up, and do you still like it? And the answer is I still like it. There are a lot of people who don't understand the institutional game. If I say I like Research in Motion at 50, and then it goes to 200. I don't like it as much. I just don't. So then people say, well, Jim, I bought Research in Motion here, and now you don't like it as much. Well, you know, I can't be as good as people want me to be. I just can't be. And no one can be perfect. Now, I hold myself out there as someone who tries very hard, but I also hold myself out there as someone who makes a lot of mistakes. And I see, like in Stock Picker, I'm often criticized, well, how could you do this or how could you do that? Well, what I am saying is, this is, institutional money managers are obviously buying First Solar today. I mean, if you've been listening to me, you would have bought it, 100 points ago. So actually, 150 points ago. But, look, I'm saying I still like it. It's just that it's very difficult to be in my position saying you like something, then it goes up 150 points and saying you still like it. But it is cheap now on 2010 earnings.
All right. How about that? A stock that keeps going up and is
still not expensive.
Still not expensive. That is a Wall Street Confidential for you on TheStreet.com TV. Thank you, Jim Cramer.
Thank you.